We don't do that here.
Put the cream to the top.
Recording is going.
5th is Bonfire Night, right?
The 11th is, or say that again?
The 5th is in 5th of November, Bonfire Night.
Yeah, they have a fight night on the 4th. Jalton Almeida and Derek Lewis.
Right. Oh, my boy Derek's fighting. Yay.
And it's a pretty light schedule. I think after the 4th, that's when it starts picking up. All right, we ready? It's just me. It's more of a personal question.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, radio voice, radio. All right, here we go. Welcome, dearest listeners, to the Ultimate Fucking Casual. Who is the Ultimate Fucking Casual? That's me. I don't know a whole lot about MMA, but I'm joined by my good buddy Nathan and the triumphant return from the Shadow Realm. Chief is back.
Yeah.
Good to have you back on, buddy.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
We have a bit of a light review section, but let's start with UFC breaking their connection, their bond, special relationship with USADA over Conor McGregor. I'm not really... The only thing I can really think on this is, like, this was the hill you chose to die on? It was this? And that's... I don't know, can anybody give me more context on what's going on here?
Well, which side for the hill to die on? Is it the UFC wanting to get Conor back for UFC 300 and do their big 50 million pay-per-view buys that they want to do? Or is it a hill to die on from USADA being super strict with the rules? The only reason I bring USADA up is because in the past they have openly flouted the rules with the UFC. One case in point I'd bring your attention to, Leo. UFC 200, they brought Brock Lesnar back because John Jones tested positive. Brock Lesnar was allowed to not be in the testing pool for 6 months, and all he had to, I don't even think he had to submit 2 negative tests. They let him fight with no prior testing. This is when USADA was in the UFC, by the way, not long after it had come in. So there is precedent for the UFC flouting the rules with the permission of USADA. So, given what's been said by, like, the CEO of USADA, it seems like there's been a falling out or maybe a bad business deal. I don't know, Nathan. Do you think it smells any different to that?
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like the UFC is... There's been a number of, like, really high-profile, I guess you could call embarrassments. Obviously, the John Jones picogram sort of scandal, which, I mean, people still argue about that to this day. The recent shenanigans with Conor too, of like, will he fight, will he not fight, well, he's not in the testing pool. It seems like the UFC wants more leniency with testing overall, and it's like, I don't know if leniency is the right word. I think they still want their fighters to be, they want that image of like being a clean sport, but they want, I don't know, I think they want to be able to, continue to make exceptions for guys like Conor. They want to play it more loose sometimes with their stars. Like, do what you need to do to get healthy and back in the cage kind of thing. Seems to be their...
Keep seems to be their... any other time, though.
Right. It's a weird... it's business at the end of the day.
Right.
And USADA is... they want to adhere to their morals, shall you say. But sometimes they maybe are too heavy-handed with that in the UFC's eyes. And so I think this is just a time to split. They want to move past it.
So a parallel that I'm thinking of here is, I think we talked about this last time, Nathan, was that Fountain of Youth thing that I had mentioned with Steve Kim. And, but he didn't necessarily only hate Mayweather. He also really disliked USADA as well, citing that I think situations that happened in UFC where they are inconsistent in the application of their own rules. And so with Mayweather being as wealthy as he is, how could he not grease the wheels, so to speak. And UFC, same thing. And I guess I don't know. Does USADA have new leadership that wants to try to clean up their image?
So, given we're talking about it, and I've jumped on their website, and their CEO Travis Tiger, he was the guy who actually came out and was making the statements against the UFC about Conor and all the disgusting stuff that apparently had gone on. He's been in place since 2007. So
that's not the case.
Yeah, so Dana inked a deal with this guy a few years ago and shook hands, and he was very happy with the deal that they shook. It's clear that something has changed in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't mean to jump off a tangent, but the company that the UFC say they're going to use now, can either of you remember what they're called? It's like drug-free sport or something like that.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's it. Drug-free sport international. So this is who the UFC has said they're going to keep using now that USADA have gone. Whoa, Jesus Christ!
A wholly owned subsidiary of Zuffa.
So, well, this would be more for the American people, but apparently trusted by more than 300 sport and athletic organisations, including the NFL, I think that's the MLB, NBA, LPGA, NASCAR, CrossFit, NCAA. So apparently these guys are legit, but I'd never heard of them before. Same.
I haven't heard of them either.
With a name like drug-free sport, how could you ever doubt them?
I'm sorry. Can I correct it? I don't want them to be sending us any lawsuits. Their full name is Drug-Free Sport International TM. So just to clear that one up. So apparently they do anti-doping services, healthcare. It looks like they're just going to do collection, testing, that sort of stuff. But
have you? Sorry, go ahead.
The last thing I was going to mention, because I've just remembered it. Do you remember when who was it who popped for TJ? TJ popped for EPO, right? And do you remember they said USADA came back and they said, "Oh yeah, we don't test for EPO every time we test the fighters." And Dana came out and he was like, "What do you mean you don't test for EPO?" It's like, Dana, how can you not know what they do and don't test for when you inked this deal with this company? It stinks to me, honestly, guys. I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist, but it stinks to high heaven. Connor's clearly on the juice to get back, and I don't blame. Look, he snapped his leg in half.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, let the guy juice, but also let him get clean in air quotes before he comes back.
Cycle off properly.
Yeah, yeah, let him cycle off.
Huh.
Have you seen the Google reviews for this drug-free sport company?
Yeah.
5-star.
Good heaven.
The first review, 5 stars, the best place for steroid-free horse meat. And the next review is 1 stars. Went with my friend TJ Dillashaw here, and they gave us free juice.
I was gonna mention, like, isn't it pretty much accepted that like NFL guys and stuff and other major pro sports, like at least the U.S. pro sports, they're like superhuman freaks, majorly in part because they're able to get away with performance enhancing substances.
In the NFL, aren't they allowed to use? I think they're allowed by their policy to use steroids for recovery.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the NFL are allowed to do that. That's quite a weird. That's obviously just a rule that's put there so that people can get around the rules, basically, isn't it?
"Quote unquote" recovering from an injury.
Yeah, exactly.
At least it seems for Conor's case, it is true that he is recovering from an injury. And so you juice to get back to elite form, and then you're supposed to stop?
Yeah.
Just like cross my heart, hope to die. I definitely stopped putting steroid needles in my eye. That's weird. Is USADA a for-profit business? Yeah, or is it a government entity?
They're a government. Yeah, they're a government organisation because they went after Thingy. Remember, they became to notoriety because of the Lance Armstrong case, right?
Yeah.
When he was going out, he was actively saying "fuck you," I didn't, I was never taking any stuff. You can't say I was, and it turned out he was. I think they're a government agents. Ooh, In 2001, USADA was recognized by the US Congress as the official anti-doping agency for the Olympic, Pan American, and Paralympic sports in the US. So, government sanctioned.
Yeah, government sanctioned, if nothing else. So, are we going to blame this on Sleepy Joe? It seems like this is Sleepy Joe's fault now. Thanks
Isn't Joe asleep on a beach? I'm sure I've seen a picture of him today on a beach asleep on a deck chair.
Definitely not the place to be right now, big dog.
he's some guy. God, give it to you Americans or something else.
Oh man, interesting situation, but I guess we see where like the whole image of a clean sport is pretty much out the window. Not that it was fully in to begin with.
It has been during our lifetimes as well, right? I can't. You think about it. Like I was born in the early 90s. You can go back and find like lots of cases of people juicing, but I mean, I'm sure doesn't juicing go back to like the 70s or the 60s? Wasn't that when a lot of the Russians developed like a lot of the compounds like Turinabol? I think like the Cold War era.
Yeah, like the Olympics.
Yeah,
the Olympic race, kind of like the space race.
Yeah, so to think that any top level sport has any sort of level of cleanliness it's folly, isn't it?
It was huge in bodybuilding, and then Arnold came out with the movie Pumping Iron, and then it blew up even further. And I believe he has his own bodybuilding circuit or like competition, like the Arnold Classic, that specifically doesn't test, not like the other ones that do.
It's a joke, isn't it? Because we're looking at these people in front of us on stage that if we'd walked around the rest of our lives on this planet, we would never see another human that looked like these people on stage in front of us. And there's some sort of allure that these people are clean or natural. It's just a joke, isn't it? Like, at least Arnold's honest.
Yeah.
You know, at least he's out front and he's like, yo, these people are juicing. Like, how do you think they get this big? You know, especially when... Ah, man.
And it's funny how it bleeds past sports. Like, you look at, like, the fitness industry as a whole.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, people like Liver King that are obviously on, like, a pharmacy of drugs. But his whole thing was like, oh, I'm eating natural, and I'm just, this is a totally natural physique you could attain, too, if only you ate, like, raw organ meat. It's like...
Or this super awesome product that I'm...
Yeah, I sell. Yeah,
selling
it's
to
the
you.
supplement I'm getting.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up next. Was the fitness influencers or, I remember when I was powerlifting, it was always like, I'm all natty, you're all jelly. That was the thing, and seeing some of the other guys like that were lifting and they were lifting a lot more than I was. I'm like, fuck, man, like I am all natty and I am all jelly.
I think I realized when I was like I think I was 16 years old at the time. I was playing rugby for my local team at the time, and I think I played for like the under 18s or something like that. But anyway, I was in a dressing room with like an older age group than I was, like, so it was people older than me, and they would further on in life and doing things. But like, this is an amateur rugby club. The lads were openly passing around steroids, and like I can speak openly to this because like I've used it before, but ephedrine, I don't know if you've used it before, Leo, but like it gives you literally super stamina. I'm not joking. Was
that the shit that was in Jack 3D?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. But I took the legit Jack 3D. Did you ever take it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd make your face just tingle to high heaven.
Yeah, the beta alanine content was really high.
Yeah, I think ephedrine, I think it's called. It's like synthetic adrenaline, and it was like a pill you take, and then you just feel like you just never get tired. Basically, that's how it feels. You honestly do feel superhuman. Like, it's the only way I can describe it. Like, there's no end to your stamina. Like, you never feel out of breath. It's amazing.
Motherfucking WWF at the time used to market pills that did that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow.
The little logo was a wasp or something. I forget what it's called though. I used to take those.
Yeah. It's so yeah. So anyway, the point I was trying to make is these sort of drugs, they're prevalent across all levels, all
Elite competition.
Not even elite competition. You look at amateur. If it's happening in amateur competition, what do you think's happening when there's money involved in the elite game?
Yeah, the good stuff with like a legit chemist that's measuring it out for you.
Yeah, he's like, well, these people, they get designer steroids, don't they? They get like these synthetic cocktails. Like, wasn't the Rodchenkov, wasn't he making his compounds into like drinks for the athletes in Russia? Like, wasn't that his deal? Wasn't he like putting it into like shots of vodka or whiskey or something like that? If I remember rightly.
The guy who was Manny Pacquiao's strength and conditioning coach, I think was Ariza was his name.
Ariza, yeah.
Ariza.
That dirty bastard.
The special shake that they called it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just recall Freddie Roach calling him a Mexican motherfucker before a little brawl ensued.
They said after the fight that like one camp they focused on like cardio too much, or like he had too big of a role in camp. Did that guy apparently, and that's why they got rid of him. I don't quite buy that, but
oh man, that's a lot of steroids talk.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's fine. Let's roll into our recaps here. UFC Fight Night at the Apex on October 14th. Oh man, from the bottom up, Christian Rodriguez versus Cameron Simon. These were bantams. Marc-Andre Barriault versus Michel Pereira, middleweights. Jonathan Martinez ranked 13th versus Adrian Yanez, ranked 14th at bantamweight. Jennifer Maia ranked 9th, Vivian Araujo ranked 11th at flyweight. And holy shit, this was entertaining. Sodiq Yusuff ranked 11th versus Edson Barbosa, ranked 13th at featherweight. That was a really fun fight. I honestly don't remember that much about the others, but this was great.
Yeah, this is maybe a contender for comeback of the year. Yusuff versus Barbosa. I mean, Barbosa was in so much trouble in the first round. Like, I could not believe he survived. And then just very slowly started to chip away and come back. And round 3 landed that sensational head kick. And after that, it was Barbosa's fight to lose.
Yusuff, that was his first time going past 3 rounds. He'd never been to like championship rounds, as it were. So that, I don't know how much that really played into it, because he was obviously behind, but he was still game. He was still trying. So I'm not sure if he seemed to be okay, like all the way to the end. Like he wasn't out of stamina. He was getting hit a lot, so there's that. But I don't know. He seemed contentious.
He definitely was going for it, but he didn't quite have the explosiveness he had in the first round.
Absolutely not.
There wasn't the same kind of steam on his punches, and I think that really did play a factor in this. As
Yusuff started losing steam, Barbosa really did start stepping up his offense, and it peaked at that wonderful kick. Oh, that was great. I'm still excited to see more about Yusuff though, because that was a really good outing for his first time under the big lights, or the bigger lights.
The biggest lights, maybe.
For him, maybe.
He only did drop one spot in the rankings, which is again just a nice thing about the UFC. You can have a really competitive loss and not suffer for it.
Right. Context matters a little more.
Yeah, the 0 isn't as valued as it is in boxing. Nowhere near as much.
Yeah, MMA does that so much better than boxing does.
Even Khabib, who does have a 0, people that sort of openly disrespect him, I'd say, in his record to some degree. There's people that don't really, think it's that great a record, but I think the UFC as well, with their love of sort of making their fighters fight who they want to, like what they're going to do with Leon and Colby. I think it sort of it breeds that atmosphere of fighters not being able to hold on to the oath for long enough. Because if you've got a certain style of fighter, like Khabib, for example, like he didn't fight really many elite strikers early on. He fought sort of novice wrestlers in the early Dagestan days.
Yeah, I think Khabib just gets some weird disrespect because he's partially because he's undefeated. It's like people. One thing that's nice when you do lose your O is like you gain a certain amount of respect from all your haters. It's like, okay,
You challenge yourself.
They can exhale. Well, maybe not just that, but they can exhale and they can find like, okay, you lost, and they feel like they got one over on the guy that beat them, or the guy that beat all of their favorite guys.
He's human, effectively. He can be beat. I think that plays a part in it.
I know before in the boxing world, like before Mayweather, outside of the Mayweather level of competition, being undefeated was more a sign that you're like your neighborhood good. You've never really stepped out of your own country, or like you've never really fought anybody of note, and that's how like they pad your record as you climb into the higher tiers. But then like the Mayweather part of it was, you know, if you're not undefeated, then you're shitty and not worth paying attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's starting to fade. I hope so. I don't know if I'm being too optimistic.
Yeah, me too.
It definitely is, but at the very top levels, I mean, like when Spence lost to Crawford, you had guys like Stephen A. Smith saying that Spence should immediately retire, and it's like, why?
What the fuck?
He's got at least 3 more years ahead of him that he could compete at a very high level and still win. It's like one bad loss and that's it. Throw in the towel, give up.
This guy at like, how many did Spence have 4 belts before? Like this guy
3.
was a 3 belt champion. And you're like, oh, he needs to retire now after that loss to the best fighter at 147 around at the moment. Come on.
Of the 2 people in that conversation, it's Stephen A. Smith that needs to retire. Like, Spence is fine. There's nothing wrong with losing to Terence Crawford. There really isn't. Like, I don't know, if he lost to like Stanionis, then I might be having a little bit of having some questions, but
so I'll try give Stephen A. Smith. Let's try give an alternative point of view. I'll try give him some benefit of the doubt. Maybe did he mean that because we all know, if we speak honestly, it wasn't the fight we expected. Spence didn't turn up, in air quotes.
Definitely.
Is that maybe what Stephen A. Smith meant? Did he mean that Spence looked like he didn't have it anymore and he needs to finish? Or... No. Even I don't believe that.
No.
I mean, even if he did, it's just a terrible argument. It's like,
yeah,
you know, from a guy who's maybe gotten rocked badly once in his career, maybe twice, it's like, yeah, there's definitely long-term consequences to taking a beating like that, but you know, you don't rush to the retirement button the second you lose. It's a different sport, because you could hammer a team, you know, every week, you know, like the Cowboys or something like that, or, you know, like the Nets or the Lakers, you know, because they play all the time. But, you know, you never see them treating a loss or even like a failed playoff run as like the end of the world, like they seem to do for like a big boxing event.
Hyperbole doesn't really exist in other sports that have more outings.
I think
like
losing's just. Oh, sorry, go on now.
I was gonna say, like, you could be really the normal hyperbolic stuff for sports is, oh, they need to trade such and such a guy, or they need to fire such and such a coach or GM. But there's like no one really like to fire in boxing. It's just the one guy in the ring. There's not a teammate you can pin the loss. So when they fail on a big stage, it's like, oh, well, you should just quit fighting altogether or something along those lines. That's their version of hyperbole.
Let's get into UFC 294. Because this, I joined in late on watching this, but bottom up, Said Nurmagomedov gets the submission in 1 versus Muin Gafarov. These are bantams.
Ooh.
Nasruddin Imavov ranked.
Real quick, we have to mention Said real quick.
Oh, okay.
Chief may not be a fan, but I mean, wow! I mean, what a fantastic quick finish there. And I mean, whether we like it or not, it seems like the Dagestanis are taking over, because this is Khabib's cousin here, who just dusted his competition with basically no resistance.
This is Khabib's cousin. And then
Yes.
the dude in Bellator is Islam's.
Umar. No. Umar Nurmagomedov is Khabib's little brother. I think he's the one in Bellator, and Saeed is his cousin. I think that's what Murphy's saying.
Oh.
I don't think there isn't another Makachev, is there? I don't think Islam has any family fighting. I could be wrong on that, but I know there's like 2 or 3 Nurmagomedovs definitely.
His stablemates are his family now. The Dagestani takeover, dog.
I mean, they're all brothers anyway, aren't they, in that corner of the world? So.
Yeah. Dagestanis.
Yeah, mate, you said it. Don't get political on me now. We've already 40 minutes. We haven't mentioned World War III yet.
I mentioned more like they got that dog in them as a positive thing. Big dog.
The dogs try hug you to death when they fight. When I watch dogs fight, they try bite you to death. They don't try hug you to death.
Oh shit! Now who's getting political?
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
Don't leave that in, please. I don't want the SEAL Team 6 taking me out tomorrow.
Okay, so bantamweight. This is O'Malley's division, right?
Yes, for now.
Okay, so how much is left before he gets to that top 5 level? Because if he's not ranked now,
it's one of the toughest divisions, that, isn't it? We've talked about this a lot before, haven't we? Like, the top 10 is super stacked at bantamweight, like super duper stacked. He probably needs a couple more. Yeah, I'd say 2 more. Like, you're not going to give him somebody. I need to get the rankings up now.
Yeah,
rankings.
Umar is number 12.
Right.
So the top 5.
This is in there.
Peter Yan.
Yeah. Kai Kara France. That would be like a perfect step-up fight for him in maybe a fight or two's time, I think. Somebody around like 5, 6, 7. Whoa, no, Umar's 8th apparently.
The hell am I looking at?
Oh, is he?
I'm on Tapology. What are you on?
UFC.com.
Oh shit, yeah, that's what we're on. Pantoja. Has Kai Kara France left the division? Did I make him up?
It seems so, because he's not listed.
He's not there, is he? He's not there, is he?
No, he is a flyweight. He's a flyweight.
Oh, is he flyweight now? Marlon Vera, somebody like that, maybe. I think that'd be an easy win for Umar. Probably.
That's Cheeto.
That is Cheeto, yeah.
Or someone like Rob Font too. I mean, he'd probably roll Font.
Man,
Font's a striker as well, isn't he? That'd be an easy matchup, I think. Oh, it should be an easy matchup for him.
I feel like I just watched Ricky Simon fight.
I think we did.
Yeah. The 2 first names always like stick in my head. Anything more on Nurmagomedov before we keep going up? All right. Nasruddin Imavov, ranked 11th. He knocks out Ikram Aliskerov.
This is wrong.
Is it?
So Imanov pulled out for some reason or another. I'm not exactly sure. And Aliskerov fought a Brazilian. Let me see. Warley Alves, and it was Aliskerov who won by KO.
Okay. I'll correct that in a moment on the paper. Well, it doesn't really matter if it's corrected on paper. So, Aliskerov wins by KO 1. This is where I joined in. This was what Magomed Ankalaev. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Johnny Walker.
Yeah, versus Johnny Walker. I was trying to think of how do I want to phrase this because they ruled it a no contest. I don't. That doesn't gel with me. I don't think that's what happened. It looked to me like a fucking disqualification. That's what I saw. So the sequence of events. There was Walker was like in a down position, and Ankalaev kneed him in the head, which obviously not good. They had the doc review, and he decided that Johnny Walker was not able to continue, and it was ruled an unintentional foul. That's kind of where they lose me. Like, that shit was not. That was fucking deliberate. Absolutely deliberate. but we got a no
Yeah,
contest.
it was definitely a deliberate strike. It's weird
Oh, yeah.
because there are there's other MMA promotions that will allow you to knee someone with their knee on the ground, and when you're up against the cage like that, sometimes people will kind of try and post, and they'll slowly try and raise up off the cage, and so maybe he thought Walker had his knee just hovering off the ground, or he's in the process of getting up. So it's illegal by definition of law, but I wouldn't say in that moment it didn't look like a uniquely dirty move. It wasn't like Piotr Jan and Aljamain Sterling.
He was
but
kind
nonetheless
of like,
it was illegal.
he was like floating or hover. He had him. Ankalaev was like on his back, kind of, and wasn't really looking at feet or knees or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody saying everybody's got the same opinion on this, right? Am I right on that? Like Walker
Yeah.
should have been allowed to continue, and it was an illegal strike. The doctor fucked up.
Yes, absolutely.
As we're going to get to, this isn't the first time that the doctor's fucked up tonight. I don't know what they're teaching him in medical school over in fucking Abu Dhabi, but they need to get back over to the West to figure this shit out.
Was he a local doctor?
It will have been. They will have been. Yeah, it will have been. Because he'll have had to speak with the Dagestani fighters as well. That'll be why they've had a local guy in.
I see.
Yeah. But that was part of the weird stuff because Johnny speaks Portuguese as a first language, and so he's asking this guy something in like broken English, and he's like over the roar of this crowd, and it's like he didn't hear his answer or didn't like his answer, and he just waved it off when Walker should have been allowed 5 minutes, and if he couldn't continue, he can't continue. But he was up on his feet. He seemed, he was rocked initially, but he seemed cognizant at the moment. If you give him 3 more minutes to recover,
Right.
that fight could continue.
I think he wasn't able to spell Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates backwards.
In Flemish.
Yeah, while in Flemish, while walking a tightrope. Yeah, he wasn't able to continue. Makes perfect sense.
He said what? So just for the listeners, what actually happened is the doctor came and he asked him, "Do you know where you are?" Or like, "Where are you?" Or that was the gist of the question. And to that, I think Johnny was a little bit confused, and he said, "The desert," which
Not wrong.
Not wrong,
it's not
I guess.
incorrect. But I'm not sure I'd also say it was correct either. But the doctor fucked up. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a shame, isn't it? Because Johnny's a great fighter to watch, and
Yeah,
that
he's
was
very
going to be
fun.
a great fight.
Yeah, they were. It seemed like a heated, I don't know, dynamic between the two.
He was
Yeah.
definitely down to throw down, and man, I feel like we got robbed of something special because I think Ankalaev ultimately would have won, but like Walker was trying to throw out the big guns. Like he threw he faked being hurt to the body and threw that flying knee, just missed by inches. I mean, he was ready to go out on his shield, and I mean that it could have been a very explosive fight, and so I'm still very salty about getting robbed of this.
He's a walking highlight reel. Either he's going to get a highlight fucking knee to your face, or he's going to get a highlight knockout loss. The guy's great. I love Johnny Walker. We've been betting against him in perpetuity since we started this. And man, as much as I might continue to bet against him, he's going to lose. Nonetheless, I'm still excited to see Johnny Walker's name on any card.
Yeah, he's unbelievably fun to watch. I mean, he just does the craziest shit. He's goofy,
Yeah.
and he's like super big and long. So you know when he lands something, he's going to put somebody to sleep.
You mentioned that this isn't the only time the doctor messed up. What was the other fight? Because I don't.
The cup one that was on the prelims, right? The guy who got hit in the balls, and the doctor was like, "Nah, you didn't get hit in the balls, mate."
What? I didn't see that.
All right, okay. So I can't remember the name of the fighter now, but there was a guy. He was on the. Showing my casualness. Maybe I'm the ultimate fucking casual here. Do you remember the guy's name, Nathan?
Oh, I
Please
had it
say
in my
it.
head. I'm the ultimate casual too today.
Please say it.
I knew his name yesterday, and I don't remember it now. Let me see if we can dig it back up.
Elliot Mokayev.
No,
Tim Elliott versus Mokayev.
Victor Henry. Victor
Henry. Yes.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so
luscious locks over here.
He got hit in the ball. He got a cup shot, and then the doctor comes in, and he says, "No, you didn't get hit in the balls." To the guy, he says, "You didn't." And then, so this happens, right? And the guy backstage has to go get an MRI on his balls because they're so fucked up. Like the doctor just completely got it wrong. Can you believe going into the cage and telling a fighter who's clear like
my testicles hurt? No, they don't. Are you kidding me?
What did he do? What did he do to test that? Did he pull out like a little like abacus or something and was like, your balls don't look that bad? It's like, what?
The thing is for us as three men, right? When you get hit, it's not something you can fake, is it? Like it's
absolutely not.
It's an extremely specific type of pain that you can't really. And when you see somebody get one, you cringe yourself. Don't you?
Sympathy pain a little bit, even.
Yeah, you feel it for them, and that doctor was like, "Nah, you're lying."
So that makes me think of like a story I heard of somebody who was like he was acting in just a drama on TV, and he got hurt. Just like messing around on set, and they sent him to. He referred to it as a Hollywood doctor, and like their job is to just patch you up, kind of dope you up a little bit so you don't feel pain, so that you can continue working. So you can get back to acting. So maybe that's what this doctor was trying to do. Was like trying to keep the action continuing. Maybe he's a OneFC doctor, more action.
Or a Muay Thai ref. You weren't throw enough prior to this kick. You need to shake this off.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more elbows to your fucking face before I'm gonna step in.
Walk off that ball shot, mate. Hey, just go take some deep breaths over there. That'll sort your balls out. Don't worry about it.
That's at least like half an hour.
Yeah, can you imagine a guy telling you, "No, you didn't. No, you're not. No, you're not feeling it."
Even like something that's like a professional fighter that's hitting you in your groin. That's going to hurt for quite a bit of time. Like even just something that's accidental, that hurts for like 5 to 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's different levels, isn't there? If you get like that light tap, it's like that sort of sharp stinging pain in it. But if you get like a full blunt force impact, you get that like feeling in the pit of your stomach, don't you?
Yep.
And it's God, I can't even talk about it. It's making me feel bad.
Well, maybe he can start a club with Alexander Usyk.
Like some kind of relief foundation for people who've been punched or kicked in the balls.
Let's continue to Kamaru Usman's middleweight debut in a loss to Khamzat Chimaev, ranked 4th at middleweight. Paulo Costa was supposed to be the guy, but he dropped out. And enter the Nigerian Nightmare. It was a majority decision. I don't know. Like, Usman was competitive, but I'm not sure if there was a draw. I don't know how you could arrive at a draw.
I think the guy who gave that score, he gave 10-8 to Chimaev, and then he gave 10-9 to Usman on the last 2 rounds, which I think is kind of a dubious score. That doesn't really check out, even with like the UFC's scoring in mind, which doesn't always reflect what the fans see. So theirs is damage trumps all. I could see him weighting Usman's strikes in the second and third round higher than the ground control. But even then, that's like such a stretch. Like I'm on board with giving Usman round 2. That's what my scorecard looked like. But I don't know about giving him both the second and the third. That doesn't really check out to me.
Did they fly out the fucking dude that scored Grasso Shevchenko too? Like
honestly, they might have.
I'm not sure where these people are fucking landing on these scores. It doesn't make any sense.
No. I'm gonna go in actually. No, fuck it. I think Khamzat was absolutely atrocious yesterday. I think he really should have finished Usman, who fucking rolled off the couch, 10 days ago, and turned up on weight to fight this guy. He's lost his last 2 fights as well, Usman, don't forget. He's coming off 2 losses. And Hamzat can't even finish this guy. And he's meant to be this big, scary killer. And Usman, as we've seen, is maybe a little bit unfair, but I think Usman's on the slide down, right? Or
it seems so. I expect that's why he moved up.
Yeah, exactly. So Hamzat probably had what? He had a big weight advantage on this guy. He actually trained for the camp. He knew he was fighting here. Poor performance yesterday from him, really poor.
What does RG call him? Cum shot?
I'm holding. Yeah, he calls him cum shot. I'm holding him to standard. Everybody says he's this killer, and he's going to be the double champ at 70 and 85, and he's going to kill everybody. I really just don't see it. After the Gilbert Burns fight, that was the one that woke me up. I think he's human. He can be beat. Even if it's not by Edwards, it'll be by somebody else. Somebody will get him.
And I think the really telling thing for me on that was, like, at the end of the fight, he looked exhausted and Usman still looked fresh. Like, he had to be counting his blessings that this wasn't a 5-round affair. And this was against a guy who didn't have a full training camp. He was probably just doing normal stuff in the gym when he got his call. Like, it's a pretty big, a thing to overcome. And I think we have to give Usman a lot of credit here. I mean, he, as we'll see between this fight and the next fight, this is the good side of taking a
short notice
fight, right? Even in the loss, he raises his stock substantially. Like, hey, Usman may not be washed here. He might actually have some stuff left in the tank if he's able to.
I can hang with this guy, so.
Right, like, and even if, like, he got taken down pretty quickly, that's like something that we've never seen it happen to Usman. But, like, I'm very ready to give him the benefit of the doubt of not having preparation. And the fact that he endured that in the first round and was still competitive, I think you really have to give him props for that.
I think did Hamzat break his hand as well? I mean, I don't want to slag him off because I might broke my hand a little, but I think backstage when he was walking back, I think there was some rumourings that Hamzat's broken his hand, so he's not going to be fighting soon. Because that was the thing they were saying, he's going to be fighting again soon because apparently, he's sorted out his inactivity issues, but I don't think they're going to Hamzat for a while.
Yeah, Hamzat said that he probably broke his hand. So this was, I guess, after this is in the post-fight that he said this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I would rate that, Chimaev.
I think elite opponent or not, if you're fighting someone on 11 days' notice, you have no business not, thrashing them.
Right.
Yeah. Unless, I mean, this is subject to change. If Usman goes on some crazy winning streak and he's suddenly back in title contention or wins the title again, maybe we revisit this. But at the moment, like, it like Chief said, it is disappointing for a guy who's kind of billed as like the next big thing.
All right, another short notice opponent. Alexander Volkanovski gets knocked out in the rematch with Islam Makhachev.
Me and Nathan talked about this before, but I quite like to have not on the fight, but I don't. Nathan, Leo, did you catch his post-fight press conference after?
No, I didn't catch the post-fight. Wait, I did for Volkanovski. I remember his.
Yeah, Volkanovski. It was pretty poignant, right?
I'm done. I'm done here. I'm going to featherweight.
No, he was alluding to sort of struggling mentally with like not fighting.
Oh yeah, keep me busy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was sort of a bit more on that. What he was talking about, and I really sympathise with him at that part. I sort of looked at him. You could see a sort of guy that was really sort of struggling. You could see it messed with him that he didn't have a fight booked, or either he's not going to be able to stop fighting. I worry for Volkanovski after that press conference yesterday. I really do. It saddened me to see that.
Yeah, it's like for someone who's like done as much for the sport and really kind of cemented himself as one of the all-timers.
Yeah,
this could be the start of like a really sad decline. Like we just got done watching, we're still in the process, I guess, of watching this happen to Tony Ferguson. And I really do not want that to happen to Volk. The good news, I mean, we have to give Islam his flowers here. I mean, he really is all that. For someone who is like totally dominant on the ground to also be dominant in the striking. I mean, it's really hard to see who beats him now. I mean, Charles obviously is out there. Charles has the power to do it, but like, man, this is a complete UFC fighter. So Volk losing to him, I don't think that spells the end for his career by any means, but if he's hung up mentally on, I need to be active all the time, I need to rush back and fight to Topuria or someone else in January, February, it's like, nah, man, just like kick back, recover, and come back when you're ready and you're hungry. It's like you don't need to force yourself to fight. Like, it's a great way to get yourself re-injured.
Yeah, he the first thing that came to my mind when I was watching the press yesterday with him was CTE. That was honestly the first thing that came to my mind. And like you say, Volkanovski has been a great for this sport. I mean, the last fight with Islam at the start of this year, I mean, we stood and watched it. How amazing was that fight? How great was it for the sport? It was unbelievable. And
did UFC have that big of a presence in Australia before Volkanovski?
No. No, they definitely didn't.
So Volkanovski is the Australian guy.
Yeah, they had cards in Sydney before,
yes.
But like once Volk was there, that's when they really got fired up and rowdy.
Yeah, for sure. Aussies get behind their people.
Yeah, they really do. He's a fellow rugby fan. He's a fellow rugby man as well as Volk. So, and he's a small man.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They got it. Short kings got to stick together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're short kings. We got to stick together, mate.
Wait. What's There's league and union for rugby.
But yeah, he was a rugby league player before he started doing MMA, and there's like the famous misquote that he was 260 pounds when he was a rugby player. That's often misquoted. I think isn't the actual figure he was like 190 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, 190.
260 fucking pounds.
Yeah. It kind of became a meme that sort of inflated every year and got even more. It was like Volkanovski's now like 500 pounds when he said, "Let me get the picture." And it's amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like that has to be like a fishing story. The shit gets bigger every time.
If you Google Volkanovski rugby, the next word that it also fills in for you is weight, and then Oh man, this is a great picture.
He's 5'6".
Man.
What the hell? How?
Yeah, he's
260 pounds. That's like a tank.
Yeah, Leo, that's literally like what my physique size. He's like the same dimensions as me. Oh, what is that? What the fuck is that?
iPhone file.
Yeah, I don't know why it's done that. Try that one instead. You can see the picture of him, and you can see that he's clearly not 260 pounds on the
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he was
like a meatball of a human.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, he'd have been a big boy for sure. Yeah, he'd have been a big boy.
Did you when he got the call from the UFC? He said he was 181 pounds, like 12 days ago.
Yeah.
Like
that's
and he cuts down to 145.
That's unreal.
No wonder he was able to sprawl with Islam and hold his own. I mean, the guy's massive.
Yeah, he's really got it. To be honest, Volkanovski, seeing him perform so well in the sprawls, it gives me confidence to think if I ever came up against the Dagestani guy, I'd just employ some of my rugby tackle takedowns and maybe I'll get him that way.
Yeah, there you go.
Something. So another thing that Volkanovski mentioned that I mentioned a bit ago was that he's done trying to fight at lightweight.
Well, he's lost twice now, hasn't he, to the champ? He's probably not going to get a third chance. That's probably why he was saying that.
It also made me think of... so Volkanovski's beaten pretty much everybody at featherweight, right?
Right.
Okay.
Except for Topuria. Topuria was floated as his next fight, and that's probably who he'll fight next.
So if he beats Topuria, he's beaten everybody he can. If he goes up to lightweight, he's going to start finding some serious challenges, apparently. Is he going to do... I don't think it would be a good idea if his mental state isn't right to pull, like, the Korean zombie thing. Like, I've done all I can, and I started fighting to be the best, and it's not happening anymore.
Yeah, I think he'll give it one more go. Obviously, he just doesn't have the right to challenge for the belt, even if it does switch hands. You can't throw him immediately with the champ. You got to make him win 2 or 3 fights at lightweight. But, against, you put him up against Michael Chandler or, Benili Dariush, it's like, there's a chance for him there. But, like I said, we're going to have to see how he looks post head kick knockout. And, assuming he wins against Topuria, I think he will win that fight. But
yeah, I think you could probably... I wouldn't bet my life savings on it, but you could probably bet a large chunk of money he's going to beat Topuria. Topuria is just too simple, isn't he? He's got very basic striking. He doesn't have any head movement.
Yeah, like...
Volk's gonna...
It would look a lot like Volk's last fight against at lightweight.
Oh.
Yeah, against Yair. We're just like... One of these things is not like the other. Like, there's levels to this, and Volk striking is levels above where Topuria or Yair is at.
Yeah.
If he goes up... go ahead.
He's level Topuria as well.
If he does go up to lightweight, I'm thinking a first fight to really start getting into lightweight, filling yourself out, getting used to the size differentials that you're going to be encountering. I think Bobby Green is a perfect fucking shout for that, because he's on his
he would smash Bobby Green.
Yeah. Career renaissance Bobby Green.
The thing is, though, in the back of my mind, right, as the bell goes, I'll be thinking, Bobby Green can knock people out as well. What if he catches Volk? What the fuck's going to happen? He could knock Volk out. It could happen.
Oh, yeah, he has the power to do it. But, I mean...
He does it to people as well. He does do it to people. It's not like it's a rare occurrence. He does murk people.
Yeah, Grant Dawson comes to mind.
Talk about a nightmare, though. That would be really tragic.
Anything more on 294? We do have...
Let me get the big picture. Do we want to maybe touch on the fact that the UFC seemed like really strange over what they were letting people say on the mic after?
Oh yeah, they were cutting stuff out on the videos that are released.
Yeah, and I think they sort of anticipated that sort of Islam and
Makhachev and Chimaev.
Yeah, they were going to speak in non-English, basically.
Yeah.
And I think they anticipated that, and didn't they cut Islam off, I think. I'm not sure about Hamzat, but I think they cut Islam off.
They let Chimaev go at length.
Yeah, they did, because he said some controversial shit, didn't he?
Yeah, but they let him speak uninterrupted in his native language.
Oh, right, okay.
But I think for Makhachev they didn't.
It's a bit fishy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, naturally, how could you not know that somebody's gonna say something about what's going on?
I bet there were a lot of nervous minds at the UFC headquarters in the US this weekend.
Definitely. That
was going on over there. And do you know what? Like, I know there was the Paulo Costa fight, but I think we should take our hats off to the UFC. They managed to go over there and deliver an event. I know a couple of guys fell out, but for the most part, they managed to pull it off in a time of crisis, shall we say.
Yeah. So what's going to be interesting is, I think, Nathan, you brought up Bryce Mitchell and what his reactions are going to be.
Oh my god.
I'm sure Colby
really
Covington,
too. Walk out. He could have walked out with a Bible. That would have been insane.
Oh, in Abu Dhabi.
I got God on my side. That's all I need.
Benili Dariush did something not quite like that, but in his he fought in Abu Dhabi in his last couple fights, and he said something like, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, to a crowd full of,
Muslims.
hardcore Muslims.
Yeah.
I expect though that like Colby Covington or Bryce Mitchell, they'd be a little bit more in your face with it, like specifically.
Oh, they could never let Colby fight
No,
Abu
no.
Dhabi, because he'd probably get like stoned before he got out of the ring. Like
No.
really bad.
Nathan, no. He gets murdered on the plane over there by one of like the Etihad Airways hair hostesses. Like, he doesn't even touch down.
All right, so point totals as we move forward. We haven't like Nathan, you gave some picks. I don't think Chief, did you? I don't think you did.
I think I went with the obvious ones anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm fine with not getting points for this weekend.
All right, so yeah, we're just gonna we're starting off fresh, October 1st. Well, I guess October 22nd is 37 to Chiefs 48. Sad times.
Get in there.
I need to find an engraver or something for
The trophy.
the trophy. All right, in our previews, we have it's a kind of a light 2-week block here. On Friday, October 27th, there is a OneFC card, and my notes for it are who the fuck runs this website? There's literally zero information on which fights are on this event. So that's kind of fun. But that one's in the morning, Friday morning.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hi there. Quick update. I was able to find the fights that are going to be on this card. It's going to be the top 3 fights are Muay Thai. So like we had said, Nathan and I on the last recording, definitely keep your eye on some Muay Thai. I think this is an all Muay Thai card. It is. All right, so a lot of Muay Thai. Check it out. So that's fun. On the 28th, there is no UFC, but Fury versus Ngannou.
Fuck Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's been a while.
Well said.
Yeah, I've forgotten.
we've been trying to fill the void, but it hasn't been quite the same.
Isn't this soon?
Yeah,
Ngannou
it's
thing.
next. Yeah, it's next weekend.
What? It's a week away. What the fuck?
Yep.
So just because I'm 11 points ahead, I'm going to go with Ngannou.
All right, if we're doing picks here.
Oh, we may as well, don't we?
Yeah, I guess I'll throw in for Fury.
Oh,
Just
you
to
guess
spite.
Fury will win.
Yeah, just a hunch. I know it's a little bit out there. Yeah, not a lot of people can get on board with that. But
Yeah,
I
you're
guess
really
I'll
going
look.
out on a limb here.
Yeah.
That it's an all heavyweight undercard. I honestly tried to look through it. There isn't a whole lot that's intriguing, so it's like the theme of the card, I guess. But yeah, B-sides, pluggity plug. So that's where we talk boxing more extensively, which we'll go into depth a little bit more on the undercard. It's going to be a lot of who the fuck is that? On Friday, November 3rd, it's another. One FC is fucking weird. They have Friday fights and then Fight Night. They're both on Fridays. I really don't understand the difference. They're often at the same venue. I don't understand what the difference is, but they have a Fight Night card, and it's going to be the kickboxing champion Jonathan Haggerty versus Fabricio Andrade, Tayo Ruotolo versus Magomed Abdul Kadirov. That's a submission grappling, and that's it. No need for more. November 4th, UFC Fight Night. This one's on location in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's bottom up on this one. Ismael Bonfim versus Vince Pichel. Lightweights, Rodolfo Vieira versus Armen Petrosian. Middleweights, Caio Borralho versus Abus Magomedov. Middleweights, Rodrigo Nascimento. 15th at heavyweight versus Dontale Maez. Gabriel Bonfim versus Nicolas Dalby, welterweights. And the main event, Jalton Almeida, ranked 9th versus Derek Lewis, ranked 10th at heavyweight.
Kind of a light card. The only thing really interesting is obviously the main event.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is there really anybody on here worth paying attention to, even including a ranked guy in Nascimento?
I don't really think so. It's not a lot of like super young up and comers. There's a lot of 30-year-olds on here. I guess Gabriel Bonfim is 26, 15-0 currently, so he may be looking for a ranking. But yeah, not quite sure on the rest of them.
Chief, anything?
Sorry, talking on mute like an idiot. Obviously, the Derek Lewis fight I'm looking forward to because that's my boy. Armin Petrosian, I've seen him fight before, I think.
Same, I think I've seen him before. I recognize his name.
We've probably watched them together then. I think he's Armenian or either... I think, is he Armenian? Yeah, I think he's Armenian, isn't he? But yeah, I'm the same as Nathan. I don't recognise a lot of these guys on here.
Local guys, then?
Yeah. I mean, it's the way, right? Wherever you go to, you try to get local guys on the card to sell tickets. But I don't know. Do we know what time it's going to be on?
8 p.m. Central Time.
Central. Because that was the thing about this past UFC. I mean, it's not good for you two because when you guys start drinking, you're drunk in the middle of the day and the event's already over. But
you said not good? Question mark.
Well, it's better to go out and get drunk at night, isn't it? But yeah, the event for me finished at like 10, 11 o'clock, which is beautiful for us as a European man. Hopefully we see a bit more. I want to see them do more of that. I want to see them do more cards on my time zone. It'd be nice.
Hold on a second. I have here Almeida versus Lewis, but on our site I have Curtis Blades. Did he drop out?
Yeah, that was canceled.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So Curtis Blades got swapped in, or Derek Lewis got swapped in for Curtis Blades. Other than that, the majority of the card's the same. And that's it for our preview block here. Do we want to do any picks?
We can do picks for the... I'm down to do picks. For the main or all of them?
Just the main, I guess, if that's the only one that we really know.
Well, obviously I'm going to go with Lewis. I can't go against Lewis, can I? How is Derek Lewis ranked 10th?
The state of heavyweight.
No, yeah. there aren't 9 better people than him. Come on.
He should be number 1.
Surely he's got to be like number 5 though. Come on, what's going on?
Put me down for Almeida.
All right.
I play.
So above Derek is Almeida, Ty, Spivak, Volkov, and Blades. That's his up till number 5, and then top 4 is still Gon, Pavlovich, Miocic, and Aspinall, and then Jones obviously title holder.
I guess he has lost a couple on to Derek to be fair. So.
Tuivasa is that big fellow, right? The Australian.
Yeah, the old shoey guy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Kiwi guy. Yeah, he's amazing. I think he's Kiwi. I could be wrong, but it's just the tattoos that he's got on him. Those are like
they look Maori.
They are. They're Maori. Yeah.
Bam Bam. He's from Kingswood, Australia. Could still be.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the review block. We do have UFC 295 coming up in a few weeks. So that's going to be fun.
We're getting close to that magic 300, aren't we?
Yeah. Jesus, that came on really quick. This whole fucking year's gone by really fast.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to add in before we start getting our housekeeping notes. All right. Let's get into the fucking bullshit. Network stuff. I mentioned B-sides. We're going to be recording later this evening. That's where we talk boxing. Hard shell tacos is fun. It's my cousin and I talking about life and how growing up, kind of being the oddballs in really, really Hispanic families was. Progressive Patriots, we're on a roll with the U.S. edition. Worldwide is just kicking off, so obviously there's a lot of coverage on what's happening in Palestine, Israel, but I'll save it for that.
I tried my hardest to get it out of you, but you really don't want to talk.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it privately, and I don't make any there's no secrets over on Progressive Patriots, and so there's no problem me saying it here. Like, what's happening to the Palestinian people is fucking horrible. Nobody on earth could or would, anybody who's sane could or would condone the actions of Hamas, those fucking little cowards hiding like roaches, but the Palestinian people are paying the price for it, and it's beyond asymmetrical warfare. It's really just killing people for the sake of killing people.
Yeah,
it's just fucking shit in it.
Yeah, it really is.
Every day it seems like there's a new tweet from the US Congress or a paper or something that some Chinese war fleet has moved into the the Red Sea, and that the US are moving their their warships into the region as well. Huge battle groups are moving into the region from the Chinese as well. Troops are being deployed. I saw on Twitter that you might be able to speak to this more than me, but apparently one of the USS, is it Ronald Reagan or General R. Ford? Sorry, apparently they had like some special dinner on the boat, and apparently that's what they do before they're going to go to deployment. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently, apparently they had steak and lobster dinner or something like that. Apparently that's what they do. They do that for like when I was morale. Yeah, when I was in Afghanistan. I was out in the sticks, in the shit, as I like to put it. And when I got back to like the main base, it's called Camp Leatherneck, I was there and they were having like steak and lobster. I was there for like a few weeks before we left, and they had steak and lobster like every Friday night. And I'm looking around at all these people like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're not doing anything. God. Just thinking about having to clean myself with fucking baby wipes because there's no running water or anything, or eating the same shitty MREs every day. And then these fat fucking pigs are eating this. And get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry for reawakening that memory. Yeah. I'll tell you how I really feel about it. There was one Army reservist. I saw him. He was really, really fat, and he was carrying some like 4 or 5 pizzas with him to I don't know where. But like, bro, drop
probably
those and go to
room.
Yeah, drop those and go to the fucking gym, dude. You got time. I know you do. There's no excuse when you're representing your country. There's no excuse. It's a call of service. Yeah, any country, if you're wearing your nation's uniforms, like, look like you fucking belong in it. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so that's all that kind of fun stuff. But sorry. No problem at all. Progressive Patriots, I get into that more in depth with a lot of other fellow veterans, and naturally we are on the side of Palestine, the Palestinian people, I'll say. Never want to hurt anyone who's innocent. So, internet stuff. Something that really, really helps is interacting with our social media posts, or rating and reviewing the shows and episodes on whatever podcast platform you're using. I know everyone says it, but it really does help a lot. And that's why everyone says it. Socials and contact options. Our social handles are LVX Media Net on everything. If you can't find me, I'm not on it. contact options. If you go to the website, lvxmedia.net, go to the Ultimate Fucking Casual page, and the contact options are there. It's the phone number. You can call, leave a voicemail if you want, or you can text. It's anonymous. It's unattended. It doesn't get checked until just before recording, so there you go. And last thing, parting words. Anything you guys want to plug?
I'll just say War Francis.
Yeah.
It was a little difficult navigating how to praise Makhachev, just given his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that little kerfuffle last time.
Funny little goof last episode. Check it out if you haven't already.
That was really funny. I suppose that's the best we can do, is some levity with how horrible things are going. But
Man, it's shit for everyone, you know. There's
Right.
a lot of people doing jobs out there as well. I've seen who was it? The boxing Showtime. Fucking hell.
oh yeah, Showtime Boxing is going. Showtime Sports is folding.
Well, yeah. Well, PBC are moving probably to Amazon. It looks like as well.
Oh,
I mean,
good lord, yes, please.
I hope. Like I was saying, I hope these people just get the same jobs there at what if Amazon buy rights fees off, Showtime or whoever.
Oh, their catalog.
Yeah. I just hope the people there, they get jobs there.
I imagine that any fights that PBC fighters have been on since PBC was a thing, they have rights to use that. But it's a matter of what happened before.
They've got there's one Bellator card until the end of the year, and then I think that's the last content they're doing. I think there's a PBC card, and that's it.
I did issue a correction. Last time I said that the PFL Bellator merger was had already gone through or approved or whatever, but it's not. Still in progress. I reached out to PFL. I have not gotten an answer.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I even said it in my message, I understand this is a really sensitive topic. You can't really divulge too many details. Can you just confirm if it's still going or not? Just, is it still a thing? Is it still happening? That's all I really wanted to know. Because the only things I've been finding are rumors. The only firm thing has been from one of the announcers I think he's in PFL, and that was at the beginning of the month. So it's been a while since there's been any official news or news from anybody who's in the organization. Still, I think Nathan and I laid out the best framework. Keep doing the PFL league structure as they're doing, and then Bellator's your premier championship level events. So yeah, you guys can just hire us. It's fine. I'm available. That's fine.
I actually am available. I'm available right now for work. So if you need a network or security specialist, I'm available. If there's anyone listening out there who needs a network guy, get in touch. There's a reason I'm called Network Chief. There's a reason.
Well, there's enough people in Discord. We could start an IT firm, managed service provider.
Do you know how many people I have this conversation with on fucking daily? I have 5 friends that I grew up with. I'm always like, we all know IT. Why don't we go into business together? But
we could be an
know
MSP.
anything about business.
I do have some business connects, like the admin side of the house.
Mate, your MSP stuff, that's easy for me to do. That's bread and butter stuff for me. That is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But enough of that fun. Other parting words. Our very awesome merch is available. If there's anybody who's a fucking designer, please, I need your help. I have no idea how. I'm doing my best, and it's not very good. So.
Wait, are you designing? them?
Yeah, all of the stuff it's on the website. There's a little button at the top that says shop or store or something. And yeah, I made all this. It's just our logos.
Yeah.
There's really nothing much to it. But if that's going to do it, then that's going to do it. Thank you. Thank you all for listening.
Peace, folks.
Yep. See y'all later.
Thanks for listening to this episode of our podcast. If you have any questions or comments on what was discussed, or have a topic you'd like to hear on the podcast, you can leave a message on our unattended phone line at 833-589-7637. That's 833-LUX-PODS. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxentertainment.net.